Hello everyone, my name's Suze Shardlow. I am the Developer Community Manager here at Redis. Thanks so much for joining us today. Today is day 10 of DEVcember. So we're over halfway through now. I've got 18 live streams to do this month. We're doing the Monday to Friday. So yeah, today is day 10 and we're going to be looking at top K. But before I bring my colleague Steve into the mix, I just want to let you know where you can find more information about DEVcember. So if you go to developer.redis.com/DEVcember, we really should make another URL that's /December in case folks' muscle memory makes them type December without the typo. But yeah, it's DEVcember at the end. You can find out all about it. What we're doing is we're giving you some bite-sized 15-minute chunks of different Redis concepts, Monday to Friday. And then on our weekend, Saturday to Sunday, we set you a little challenge, a little gentle challenge. There is no competition involved. It's just for fun. So since we've had 2 weekends in DEVcember so far, there are 2 challenges. If you go onto our GitHub page, you will be able to find those challenges. And if you want to submit a pull request and have a little chat with us about that. So yeah, speaking of chat, if you want to type in the chat wherever you are, even if you're watching the recording, please do type in the comments whether or not you like this and what you want to see from us. That would be super. Some of the topics we've covered so far are, of course, how to get started with Redis in the cloud, redis.com/try-free, how to get started with Redis Insight. We've covered lists, we've covered sets, we've covered sorted sets, we've covered Hyperloglog, we've covered Bloom filters. We're going to do a little bit more about that today. So we've covered loads of different things. And today, like I said, we're going to look at top K with Redis Bloom. And I've got my colleague Steve Lorello with me. And Steve is a Windows fan. And this is really rare that you see somebody on a live stream with a Windows machine. So let's bring Steve into the mix.
Hey, Suze, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you today?
I'm good. Yeah. I mean, I think it's probably appropriate that I am a .NET fan or not a .NET, a Windows fan, because I am the .NET Developer Advocate at Redis. So it makes a lot more sense, I think.
You are indeed. And if anyone wants to chat .NET on Redis, Steve is your man. Feel free to hit him up. His Twitter handle is right there.
Yeah, and also if you probably tell them about our Discord, right? You can find me in Discord. I'm usually in the surfing around the C# Discord channel, and also in most of the other channels too. So yeah, if you want to talk .NET and Redis, definitely the person to come talk to.
Good shout, Steve. Definitely come and join us on Discord. Anyone can join. Please do discord.gg/Redis. So I think it's /Redis, isn't it? It's not /Redis.
I think so.
Yeah.
Redis.
Yeah, cool. Okay, brilliant. I will leave you to it. Please give us 15 minutes on top K.
Sounds good. Let me just make sure that my screen is added to the stream, which it is now, and I will be off. All right, so I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about top Ks today, and so at the end of this, you should know basically what a top K is, how it fits into Redis, and I'm also going to do a little bit of coding where I'll show you how to build a web API to just keep track of like some heavy hitters of video views with Redis and .NET. So anyway, again, I'm Steve Lorello. I am the .NET developer here, .NET Developer Advocate here at Redis, and yeah, this is about top Ks. So what is a top K? So a top K is really a class of data structures. There's not one definitive top K data structure as there is with like a Hyperloglog or a Bloom filter. Like those are very specialized data structures. Top Ks are more like a class of data structures that you can implement in a number of different ways. But their purpose is to track heavy hitters while minimizing the space that you use and maximizing the speed that you can track them with. And because of this, they are typically implemented as probabilistic data structures, which if you follow the previous DEVcember streams and you learn about what a Hyperloglog is and a Bloom filter is, this typically will fall into that same class of data structures. But in this case, its purpose is to keep track of a list of the heaviest hitters for a particular class. And what can that be? It's usually keeping track of sums and a group of the top group of contenders on a large stream of data. And usually it's when you have huge sets to keep track of. So think like you have millions of videos that you're keeping track of or millions of individual gamers. You can have them keep coming in and hitting your database, and essentially if you have to keep track of a million gamers, like you would have to have space to keep track of the counters for a million gamers, and then you would have to order them. Same thing with videos. And what Top K does is it actually lets you sort of strip away that complexity and strip away that space. So you have much more minimal size data structure. So Top Ks are really pretty easy to use in Redis using the Redis Bloom module, which again, if you follow the previous DEVcember episodes, you've probably seen the Redis Bloom module be used. I'm going to go over how to get up and running with it very quickly when we start our demo in about a minute. But yeah, this uses the probabilistic data structure to build an efficient Top K, and it has a bunch of reserve commands for Top K. So Top K.reserve basically will reserve a Top K in memory for you. Basically, you tell it, this is the key name, and this is how many items in that list I want to keep track of. Top K.add will take a string and add it to a given Top K. So it'll just increment the number of times that the Top K is encountered that by 1. Top K incr by will do the same thing as add, but instead of adding the item to adding a single instance of that item to the Top K, it'll add however many you tell it to. That's great for like if you have a leaderboard and you have a particular member whose score went from like 5,000 to 600,000. Like you could incr by 595,000 to get up there. Top K query will query a single record to see if it's in the Top K, the number of that top list. Top K.count will try to get an approximation of what the current value of a particular record in the Top K is, and then Top K list will list the actual the current members of the Top K. So yeah, anyway, now that I've gone over essentially what my slides were for this, I'm going to go ahead and start up Redis Bloom. So I'll open up WSL, and I'll do a docker run -p 63. Let me clear this first, actually, and make this just a little bit bigger. So docker run -p 6379:6379 Redis labs / Redis Bloom. And it actually might be RE Bloom. There we go. It's RE Bloom. So Redis labs / Redis Bloom. And I'm going to go ahead and figure this out too. And I'm going to create a web API for this. So, and we're just going to keep track of a bunch of videos. So I'm going to do a .NET new web API -n test Top K. And I'll cd into test Top K, and I'm going to do a .NET add package stack exchange .redis, and that's going to install the Redis package that I need to get up and running. And then I'm going to start and open this in Rider. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that I can actually reserve the Top K for my instance here. So I'm going to create a hosted service in here. So Top K hosted service. And this is going to extend I hosted service, which is going to allow it to run at startup. And I'm going to dependency inject instance of an iConnection multiplexer, which is the thing I'm going to use to connect to Redis. And so I'll have a private read-only iDatabase database. And this is going to be my handle to Redis. And all I have to do to create this is set db equal to muxer.getDatabase, and I'm done. So when the service starts, so when this whole ASP.NET Core service starts up, I want to reserve a top K. So I'm going to do a db.execute async top K.reserve, and let's give it a name. I'm going to name it video views. So I'm going to pass in the command topk.reserve video views, and we'll keep track of the top 3 for our example here. So I need to sync and await this. And then when the service tears down, I just want to get rid of this thing. So I'll just do an await db.delete key async and pass in video views as the key that I want to delete. And I'll make this also async. And so I just want to make sure that I register this service with our program.cs. So I'll do a builder.services.add hosted service, and I'll just add the top K hosted service. And then I also need to make sure that I can connect to Redis. So the other thing I need to do is go builder.services.add singleton service, iConnection multiplexer, connection multiplexer .connect, async, and I'll pass in localhost because I'm just going to the local Redis instance that I just used. So I'll do an await, and there. All right, so now that that's set up, let's actually build our API. That's the last thing that we really need to do here. So I'll go to my controllers and I'll add a new controller, and I'll call it top K controller. Zoom in a little bit. So this is going to be an API controller with a route of controllers. So it's just going to go to top K as going to be the route. And this is going to be a controller base. And to start out, let me just get that database object again. So private read-only database db and public top K controller, connection multiplexer muxer, and I'll set db equals muxer.getDatabase. And that'll get the reference to the database for me. So let's go ahead and use some of these commands now. So I'll start off with an HTTP post to the controller's route / video name. And this will just be public async task, action result, post, and I'll pass in a string, which is going to be the video name. And then now this is created, all I have to do is return OK. And I just need to say db.execute async topk.add. And I will use the top K hosted services video views as my key name and add the video name as the video that I'm adding. So with that done, I just return OK, and that will have added this instance, this video to my top K. And so now the next thing I might want to do is I might want to check to see if that record is in there. So I'll do an HTTP get. Sorry, someone just stopped by my house. I have to just let my dog go downstairs real quick. Sorry.
No worries, Steve. We all know what it's like when your pets want a bit of attention, and dogs are particularly attached to their owners. So when they see you doing something else, they either want to join in or they want to take your attention away from it, don't they?
Exactly. Yeah. Sorry, my dog just I think someone just came to my house, and my wife let them in, and the dog just freaks out when anyone comes inside. So
no worries, no worries. So do carry on.
All right, she's downstairs now. Sorry about that. Anyway, so back to this. So the next thing I want to do is I also want to have a GET request that's going to see if a particular item is in the top K. So I'll just do another one that's controller slash video name, like async task, action result, get check single video, string video name. And then in this case, I'll just do it await db.execute async top K dot query. And I'm going to use that same key and that same video name. And that's going to tell me whether that is in the top K or not. And so I'll cast this to an integer. And I'll set the result string, what I'm going to reply with, equal to results equals 1. So if the result is 1, then the video that I'm requesting is in the top K. So it's one of the heavy hitters that we're looking at. So if result equals 1, then I'm going to reply with video name is in the top K. Otherwise, I'll reply with video name is not in the top K. And then I'll just return an OK with that result string. So that's just checking a single value. And then I think the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to list out the top K results. So public async task, action results, get all top K. In this one, I'm just going to say var results equals Redis results await db.execute async top K.list, and the top K hosted services video views name. And I'm going to return, well, results.select x.toString where x dot x is not null. I'm going to select that and send it to a string, and then I'm going to return OK with this. All right, so let's test this out. So if I pull this up, pops up in Swagger here, and I can go ahead and start using this real quick. So I can try adding things to my top K by just adding a video. So let's say baby shark add. And so I added baby shark one time to this. So if I go in and I query and see if baby shark is in there, baby shark is in the top K because I haven't added anything else yet. So, and if I go and I list my top K only consists of baby shark. So if I keep adding baby shark, so I'll add it like 10 more times. And then I'll add Gangnam Style. I think I'm spelling that right. I'll add that 3 times. And then I add, what's another popular one? Really drawing a blank here. Zito. There we go. That's another really popular YouTube video. I add that twice, and then I add something not particularly popular. I execute that. You'll see that when I go to query my top K, since I only have 3 in my top K that I reserved, it's only going to respond with those 3. And then I can query any single one of these to see what its disposition is. Is it in there? And Despacito is in the top K. But if I add something not particularly popular several more times, Despacito or Gangnam Style might actually be kicked out of the top K. As a matter of fact, it looks like Despacito was kicked out. But yeah, so that's how a top K works. Essentially, you reserve the top K, you add things to it, or you increment things within it, and then you just go ahead and you can query the top K to see what the members are of it. Who are the heavy hitters that are hitting this thing over and over again? But yeah, that's it on top Ks from me.
Nice, thanks, Steve. Well done for handling that little interruption in the middle. Especially since you were properly mid-flow there. I was really impressed, and I know some other folks watching were very impressed by the way that you can live code without getting phased at all. It's definitely a skill.
So we have a question from the chat from Jose. Steve, excuse me, but how do I pull this up? There we go. Steve, excuse me, but I didn't get what's the purpose of a top K? Could you explain that again? Thanks so much. So what a top K is essentially a data structure that keeps track of the list of the most important items that are getting hit when you have like when you're trying to keep track of something. So like the example here was like video views, right? So like say you just threw a ton of video views at a web service, like say millions or billions or something like that. You can't store all those views. And if you have millions of videos, it might be inefficient to store all of those views, right? Or all those videos is like different things when you're trying to calculate this. So like what this data structure does is it makes it very compact and fast to keep track of those heaviest hitters on a particular service, whether that's a leaderboard or like video views, or another big use case where a top K would be like a load balancer and trying to like detect IP addresses that are hitting your service really hard and really quickly. Hopefully that answers your question. Cool. It looks like it did.
Nice. Thanks for your question, Jose. I'd love it actually if other folks in future streams would add some questions in the chat while they're watching. I think that's a really nice thing to do. But like we said at the beginning, if you've got any more questions, then feel free to join us over on Discord anytime. We're based all over the world, so we cover quite a lot of hours in the day. Feel free to join us on Discord and have a chat with us about all things Redis. Nice. Well, thanks again, Steve, for joining me today to give that little explanation. It's been really nice working with you on this live stream. It's the first time we've done one together, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it might well be.
Yeah, hopefully not the last. We'll definitely have to schedule something in for the new year. But yeah, have a great rest of your day.
Sounds good. Have a good one, Suze.
Thank you. So that was my colleague, my very good friend and colleague, Steve Lorello, our .NET developer advocate, talking to you about Top K and why you might want to use it. So hopefully that's given you a nice little intro, especially for those of you like me who have taken RU 101, which is our Redis University course, which is an introduction to Redis data structures, because that was not covered in RU 101. We do cover most of the other data structures, but not Top K. So that was a nice little supplement for me, and hopefully you found that too if you're in the same position as I am. And speaking of Redis University, we do have another 7 courses on there. So as well as RU 101, Introduction to Redis Data Structures, we've also got RU 102 for various languages, so Java, JavaScript, and Python. So choose your favorite language and take RU 102 in one of those, and you get to build up a really cool little app that measures solar power readings in that one. We've also got, I'm testing myself now, security, search, and something else. I can't remember what the something else is, but I know what's coming soon. I know it's coming next year. JSON is coming next year. So feel free to go to university.redis.com and check those out. So that is it for today. What we're doing is we're revealing the topics day by day. So currently you won't know if you go on the website what tomorrow's topic is, but I can tell you, and it is definitely a very hotly anticipated one, because people have been asking me on social media, are we going to cover this topic? And the answer is very much yes. So tomorrow we're going to be looking at Redis search. And tomorrow it's me and Simon, who are both in the UK. So we're going to do it a little bit earlier than today. But if you subscribe to our YouTube, you'll get a notification when we go live, youtube.com/Redis Inc. And we will be posting a little placeholder on YouTube later on today where you can set a reminder for that particular video. So feel free to do either of those things. Either way, you will get to know when we go live tomorrow for an intro to Redis search. Until then, everybody, look after yourselves and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks again for joining us. Bye.